Hi guys, welcome back. Getting better by accident. If you I'm gonna cut that out. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments below. This episode we're talking about steroids and jiu-jitsu. Bit of a touchy subject for a few players, really, isn't it?
Controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's a lot of different schools of thoughts on it, with whether it should be allowed, whether it shouldn't be allowed, and also in the tested and untested sort of like leagues, we'll call them. So like ADCC isn't tested, where the IBJJF, they say they test, but they'll test the gold medalists if they piss off the organisers, like, or if they're a bit outspoken, from what I've heard. But IBJJF is a bit more tested, and yeah, it's a bit of there's a lot of different schools of thoughts on it. What's your initial take on it?
It's swept under the rug.
Yeah.
That's for sure. A lot of the guys, well, and probably girls, see the professional athletes kind of superhuman, and from my perspective, it's kind of seeing that you kind of need to be on it to kind of be at the top level, which is probably true. But I think that's the issue, that it's kind of swept under the rug, and I think a lot of people think they should take it.
Yeah. Well, you've got like some great examples of players who are very outspoken about not taking it, who are at the high level, like your Musamechi, Ruotola brothers. The three that I can name off the top of my head at the moment. Nicky Rod says clean as well. There are like a lot out there who are outspoken about how clean they are.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the proof's there that you don't need to be on it to essentially become top 1%.
I think we talk about it more as well because it's not tested mostly.
Yeah.
Like in most sports, people are on it anyway, and because there's testing in place, no one talks about it.
Yeah.
But in jiu-jitsu, kind of everyone likes to talk about it because no one knows what anyone's taking. But my bet would be people are taking way more than what people think. I don't think a couple of jabs a week is what most athletes are taking.
And like, we've been around the sport long enough, and we've seen different types of athletes on different substances that's going to enhance them. You can see in the physicality sometimes with them, like swelling and things like that. Like, me personally, I'm not against steroids. Like, if it's in a tested league or tested division, then yeah, I disagree with it. Like, it's cheating, it's in the rules, and you're going against the rules. If it's not tested, then for me, it's like every athlete's got an equal opportunity to take it or not take it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're taking it and you get tested and you just sort of get past the test without getting caught, then I agree that that is like cheating.
Yeah. So you kind of don't mind what's going on at the minute, kind of.
I mean,
the way it is, like
I
untested and people free for all, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Like, if I'm honest, I don't know if I've got a strong enough opinion to sort of be against it or all for it. It's just I don't disapprove of it.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with it. Like,
yeah.
So because we were talking about this last night, and my like sort of, if I was to really dive into it, like, if you're a player who's maybe got skinny frame and you're taking gear to add to your frame to then get stronger, bigger, and have that become your game, even if it's an untested division, I'd probably say you're cheating there. Like, you're taking a shortcut to get better and to beat people, so you're not trying to learn like the technicality of it.
Yeah.
Whereas Orlando Sanchez was very vocal about, before he passed, of like his use of steroids, and for me, he wasn't using it to get a bigger frame and get stronger. Like, he was in the ultra heavies.
Yeah.
So there's not really a physical advantage he may get from it, but he will be getting more of the recovery side of things and maybe like injury repair and the other attributes that come along with the drug. But for me, I think that's where my probably nuanced kind of take on it goes.
Yeah. For me, I worry about the people that kind of are watching professional grappling.
Yeah.
With it being untested, they kind of just can take whatever they want and compete, or and just train and just be smashing people because they can. Me and you have trained with a lot of different training partners over the years, and you can just tell, can't you?
Yeah.
People are just superhuman in the gym, and you're like, there's no way you're 38 years old and like built like a superhuman.
See, like, because when you get to that age though, as well, like, I think there's a bit more forgiveness with the therapeutic side of taking testosterone and that. But I agree with you, like, where, especially on the younger athletes or the kids who are getting into the sport and want to try and aspire to be like at the top.
Yeah.
If they're seeing their favorite athlete sort of doing it, they're not going to sort of understand that maybe they've got a doctor looking after them or they've got certain things prescribed. They're just going to fucking get hold of it from the local dealer and start pinning, which can lead to a lot of fucking like issues. One of the big ones, staph. Like, if you're not clean with it and you're jabbing yourself in the arse and then you're coming onto the mats and you've not really been looking after the injection site, you're putting yourself at a high infection risk.
Yeah.
And also, you're not monitoring your blood levels, the rest of your hormones, like coming off it, like, and everything else that comes with it. Like, it's giving a lot of younger athletes and younger people just the wrong impression of it.
And also, I think a lot of people assume the bigger kind of athletes are just on it as well. So like a lot of people just like, oh, they're on the gear and it's like an easy pass for them being good or even big. Like a lot of people say that I'm on the juice and like, I've been training since I was 15. Like, it's like just because someone's big or they're athletic doesn't necessarily mean that they're on the juice. There's kind of that thing that happens.
Yeah. I guess like
just kind of assume it, don't they, straight away?
Yeah, and to be fair, like you can almost allow for that naivety a little bit because of how loosely it's spoken about sometimes. Like you've got Craig Jones posting his stack online, like, and for me, like that is a message that I kind of approve of, where he's saying exactly what he's taking. And for anyone who's done a little bit of reading around the subject, you probably realise that that's not a huge dose. It's a therapeutic maintenance dose, maybe a little bit of an extra booster for his athletic pursuits. But he's not going anywhere near sort of like the top high end stuff. Whereas if you go into your local weightlifting gym or you ask anyone that you know who's taking it within the gym, they're probably on a ridiculous stack that's going to really mess up the hormonal system and the hormonal profile when they come off it.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of education there.
Yeah. I think what's the point though for grappling? You know what I mean? Like, I really think that like when people think about it again on the juice.
I think for me, like I have been quite openly spoken about, like I do plan on going on like TRT or testosterone treatment when I'm in probably a few years away, so like 3 or 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years away, sorry.
Yeah.
I will be pursuing to go on TRT purely because I want to be able to train for longer.
Yeah. So I mean like steroids though, for just something you buy from the car park or whatever.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like if TRT stuff,
car park.
Yeah, I mean, fucking. Hey, if the TRT is going to cost me a couple £100 a month, I'm going to go to the car park and fucking get it cheaper.
You know what I mean though? Like it's for people to just be like, oh, I want to get a bit bigger and I want to win, local grappling comp and I want to get on the juice. It's pointless.
Yeah, I guess it's like
you're damaging your health.
It's damaging your health, and there's a lot of like other complications that can come off the back end of it. And going in there blind again, it's like for me, it's the the lack of knowledge and the lack of awareness. So
Yeah.
like they're either talking to the wrong people and getting bad advice, or they're not talking to anybody at all and like guessing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Which both are very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, and this isn't me saying if you're gonna do it, like search things out, but there's plenty of really, really good resources online, and I know this because I fucking researched it in my 20s, of how to take gear safely.
Yeah.
Like, but nobody's doing the research because they're just trying to get from A to B as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Without actually doing the work to get there.
My take would be stay natural.
Yeah.
Just train. If you're good enough, you're good enough. If you're a superhuman freak, taking the juice ain't gonna do that much, really.
No.
In terms of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think the where people like really want to take it is the recovery in between sessions in it and trying to like stack more in. And I personally got like a little theory, and I'm happy to be proven wrong for this. I feel like I read this somewhere where it's like the skill uptake is a little bit higher when you're on testosterone. I'm not sure on the mechanisms, but I'm pretty sure I think it's to do with the nervous system and like the adaptations you can get from your nervous system. And skill uptake is a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But if I'm honest, I've not spoken to anybody who's thought about taking gear, who spoke about increasing the skills or skill uptake. It's more about fucking biceps and back.
Yeah, and to smash, innit? Smash people on the mat, really, which nothing lasts forever, though, does it?
No. Because like for me, like personally, if you're a hobbyist, stay natural. Like, if you're competing at a very high level and you're doing everything right and you just need that little bit of an edge, speak to a doctor.
Yeah.
If you're competing at a mid-level, stay natural. If you're touching your 40s and you feel like you're not recovering enough and you can't get hard, speak to your doctor and get us some TRT. But like, yeah, I think nobody speaks to the coaches about this either.
No.
Like nobody wants the opinion of like someone who's probably been around the sport and been around people who have been taking it and kind of can give them advise them on maybe what to expect or advise them on whether it's not worth it or not.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you're saying there. If you're a mid-level kind of hobbyist, stay natural. If you're a hobbyist, stay natural. I think if you're a 1% athlete and you're trying to make it your living and you want to join the dance, then you might have to take it.
Yeah.
But that's up to you to take that risk.
Yeah, and it's like I say, it's like up to the athlete, and like I say, after a conversation with the doctor, like worst thing you can do is, even though I've fucking said before, if it's too expensive, I'm gonna get it myself. But it's the worst thing you can do because you don't know what you're actually taking.
No, definitely. Should we wrap that up, mate?
Let's do it. You made it this far, and you've still got the pins in your hand without fucking jabbing at your ass. Make sure you give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.